Hey guys, what's going on? It's Elle here. Today I'll be showing you my audio setup. I recently added a CD player and a cassette deck, so I'm really excited to film this video. I'm just going to start off with the CD player and cassette deck. Both I got through Marantz, which is like a Dutch eBay. Here I have Onkyo DX-2800 CD player and TA-2700 cassette deck from the late 80s to early 90s. Now, when the seller put the set on Marktplaats, he didn't include a specific price. He wanted people to bid over 20 euros. So I put an offer of 25, and a few days later no one else was bidding. So I offered 30, and again, a few days later nothing. So I decided to message him because I was really interested, and I asked him what he wanted for the set, and he said 50, and I told him that I would transfer the money right away if he would also include the shipping costs, which is like almost 14 euros. And he said, alright then, let's do it. So that's basically what I paid for it. I'm very happy with it. I used to play my CDs on my laptop and it stopped working a while ago for no reason. And I would use my brother's stereo to play my cassettes, but he just recently moved out and of course took his stereo with him. This is what the back looks like, and as you can see I haven't hooked up the tuner because I won't be using it since I already have a tuner built in my receiver. Moving on to my turntable, this is Audio-Technica ATLP 120 USB direct drive in black version. Direct drive basically means that the motor sits right underneath the platter, which gives you more of an accurate speed. It comes with a lot of great features like the adjustable counterweight, anti-skate, height adjustment, and the S-shaped tone arm, as you can see here. Another great feature that a lot of other turntables don't have is the 78 RPM speed, meaning that you can play older records from before 1950s, and of course your 33 and 45 RPM speed, and a metal 45 RPM adapter for 45 records. This turntable is manual, so you have to move the tone arm yourself and lift it up again after you finish playing the record. It comes with a standard Audio-Technica stylus or needle and cartridge. Now there is the option of replacing the needle, cartridge, or the entire head shell. And I've been wanting to upgrade to maybe a Stanton or Shure, but for now this works just great for me. But if you do have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And a reverse and forward button and a pitch control, I think mostly for DJing. I don't really use it, but still it's a great feature. And the red LED light to indicate your speed. This particular model is based off of the Technics 1200 series. I think it's great that Audio-Technica rebuilt that model for a much cheaper price. The feet on the Technics model are, I believe, smaller, but this turntable is extremely heavy and very sturdy. That way it really avoids any vibration. So that's a really good thing. And it also comes with a dust cover. On the back there's the USB port to transfer the music into MP3 on your computer, and a phono or line switch. It already has a built-in preamp, which is great, so you would only need a receiver and speakers, or you could directly hook it up to activated speakers and you're good to go. If anyone is just getting into records and is interested in getting a turntable, you definitely want to avoid anything under $100. This one goes for about 200 to 300 range. I paid 300 euros and I really did my research before getting a turntable because you want something that will last you for a long time and that has upgradable features. Moving on to my receiver, it's a vintage Marantz 2216B receiver. built between 1977 and 1979, a very expensive receiver when this came on the market in the 70s. Again, I bought this through Marktplaats, and when I was looking for a receiver, I was specifically looking for vintage receivers, mainly Marantz, Onkyo, or Sansui. Those were really the three brands I was interested in. This model is almost in perfect condition. Only thing is that it has this red mark on the window of the tuner, but the seller did point that out in his ad. I absolutely love the knobs on this thing, and the tuning wheel goes very smoothly, so you're able to tune more accurately. It has a big tuning scale that lights up. I'll show you what that looks like when it's darker in a minute. Now, the ad had only been up for a couple of days and people kept bidding on it. I think the highest bid was 45 when I placed my offer, and it easily went up to 75, and then I decided to message the seller because of how fast people were bidding. And I wanted this more than anything, so I offered to pay the seller $90 including shipping costs, and that I would transfer the money right away. But the seller really wanted 100 euros for the unit alone, but then decided to sell it to me including the shipping costs, so it really worked out great. Here's what the inside looks like. The seller cleaned everything up and he changed the bulb for the tuning scale, and here's what the light looks like at night. This receiver has two speaker systems, which I'm only using one of. And here's the antenna, and it has a phono and auxiliary input, as well as 2 tape input and output, and is 16 watt per channel, which gives enough power for me. For my speakers, I'm using the Philips High Fidelity 22AH46-3 speakers. I believe these were built between 1976 and 1978. These speakers are very heavy and the cabin is made out of wood, and that is what I was looking for. I did change the wire because it was really old and frayed. It's a two-way 35 watt speakers. Now you do want to use speakers that have more power than your receiver to avoid any damage to your speakers. I actually found these at a yard sale and I bought them for 15 euros, which is insanely cheap for a pair of vintage 70s speakers, and they work incredibly good. So that is it for my audio setup. I think I paid under 500, so maybe around 480 euros in total, but you can definitely get it a cheaper setup, but this is what works for me and I'm very happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.